Hi everybody, Lou Harvey Zara here. I wanted to give a quick 5-minute tip post with the 3 rules of parents. This is a quote written by Elaine. It's the opening introduction quote in Creative Discipline Connected Family. And the rules of parents are but 3. Love them, limit them, let them be. The 3 powerful L words. This sounds really simple, doesn't it? But in fact, this little saying, love them, limit them, let them be, has helped my parenting all the way through, and my children are now 20 and 17. Let's go through each one at a time. Love. Love sounds easy, it's a feeling, yes? But it's also a verb, it's an action. And we're very busy, we're distracted by technology. And so we have to really make sure we do fill our children's love tanks. We actually need to make sure our teenagers feel loved, even though they're pushing us away more now, to withdraw, to find their own autonomy and who they are. So I suggest that we have 7 imaginary pebbles when we start the day in our pocket. We might want to go to 10 if you want to, but let's start with 7 imaginative pebbles. And every time we do a loving action with our children, it may be the morning greetings. If we're young, we hug them. If they're older, we just say, good morning, my love. It may be the way we eat together. Maybe the little chats we have. It can be when we put them to bed, what we whisper in their ear, you know, when they don't want to be sung to. Even 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, you can whisper in their ear, you know, I'm happy you're my son. You're turning into a beautiful young man. But as a teenager, we can't do that anymore, and we might have to send them an emoji love heart, yes? So it's different, but we've got to, sometimes love is verbal. It's doing something together that's fun. It's having a laugh. Sometimes it's actually non-verbal, and it's a look that we give, or a rub, or a thumbs up, yeah? And so we just need to imagine these 7 pebbles, and imagine every time we do one of these non-verbal, verbal, loving acts, we take it across to the other pocket. And when we go to bed at night, have a think about how many pebbles are in the other pocket. Did all 7 go across? Please think about this with your children. If you've got more than one child, sometimes one is a little easier and trickier, and that's just temperaments and natures, and you've got to make sure all the pebbles are across for both children and all your children. Or you could imagine this if you're a teacher in class. So love, that's the first one. And I find that if we need to change any behaviours, we always need to connect first with children. So love always comes first. The second is limit. Again, this sounds really easy, doesn't it? Limit. But we have to work out, what do we want to limit for children? And by this we have to work out our family values, yes? What are our values? When we have our values, it's very easy to know where we're going to put our boundaries and what we're going to limit. For me, again, I simply had 3 things, not to sweat all the small stuff. But my first big limit always, and I would always respond, was to be safe to yourself and other people. So if children aren't safe to other people themselves, they need a limit, yes? They need this, as well as empathy, and they need to realize that this makes people sad, and we need to make amends, yeah? And that we need to be safe, and we have key words around that limit, like kind and safe, and people are happy, and that we'll talk about it, and families look after each other, yes? Okay, the second limit is to be healthy to yourself, and to be healthy in physically in our physical body means that a food we eat, yeah, real bodies like real food, yes. Our brains wire up like a light bulb when we move around and we creatively think and play rather than sit still staring at a screen. That's another healthy. So we have to put limits around these. And again, we have these family things that we say. Real bodies like real food. Brains fire up like a Christmas tree when we can move around, not when we're sitting still staring, yeah? And we need our limits. We may have rhythms around once in a while food when they're older, screen times, because that's something that we're going to, as parents, need to help our children with. The third limit is that level of being socially accepting, in a sense of developing our social skills and our emotional skills, in a sense. Now, this is under development. Even adults, this is under development. But we really don't want to go around upsetting people and their feelings. And so we have to put limits around this. And again, we're looking after each other, and teaching, sharing with our oven timer, or a timer. If there's siblings, we can say as siblings grow up, you know, when they're 9 or older, this isn't for today or tomorrow, this is for life. You know, how are we going to get on? And see if we can find solutions. Yeah? There's a lot with this. So there are limits. Be safe to yourself and other people, be healthy, have that level of social respect in a sense. And my children, if they were ever talking to me in a way that was really nagging and you know, in a way that was kind of rude for me, I would always, and they wanted something from me, I couldn't respond. I had to teach them this limit. But sometimes it's in a game, so I would literally just go, when I hear that voice, I go really slow, and I would go so slow. And then they'd say, could I have a biscuit, please? And I'd go, okay, and I'd speed up to get it. There's lots of fun ways of teaching manners in that. Okay, let's look at the last one. Let them be. For me, this is the most profound of all of the three of them. Let them be their stage of development. Let them be a child. Yes, let's go to the early childhood. Let them be a toddler. Some people get so shocked when their baby all of a sudden fires up and has all this energy and will and gets into everything. And they say to me, I have to watch my toddler all the time. And I say, yes. So let's understand the toddler's brain. It's saying, move, 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 so I can fire the left and right side of the neurons up. So they have to move all the time. I'll give you a new post on toddler tips. So we need to know that and make things safe and have a cupboard that's not locked for all their pots and things in the kitchen, have them near us, because they want to move all the time and they want to do cause and effect over matter, which basically means destruction. So we have to redirect to bang on wooden spoons and saucepans, and redirect to climb outside, not on the chairs, yes. Redirect to throw balls in baskets. And we do this with our empathy. We look after the toys, yeah? We look after our table and chairs for dinner. We have to do this outside, yeah? So we need to know that they're a toddler and they're going to have loads of energy and they're going to have cause and effect. Let them be a child. All too often we're rushing them into being an adult. And the rushing is the word. Yeah? Children are not on our time frame. They don't know past and future. They don't know stress. They don't know, appointment times. They're in the present moment. Tricky, I know. They go to their shoes and they see their train and they play with their train. Tricky. But let them be a child. Their brain is quite different to the adult brain. It's imaginative, pure imagination. They take a wooden block and they make it into soap. Yes, and they make it into a telephone or a walkie-talkie. So they really like to be imaginative. Yeah, and they've got this big impulse for this wonder and beauty. They believe in Father Christmas. They believe a man with a white beard can go around the world pulled by reindeers and visit every house as if that is really quite normal. Because they believe in magic and wonder and imagination, and we have to use these things with our creative discipline, which I write about in all my books. So we do have to bring a bit of playfulness to them. We do have to set up great play for them, great storytelling, really good craft, use imagination. Even if we're wanting to get moving quickly in a hurry, we can say, put our cheetah feet on, let's run to the door. So we just have to recognize, and that's why I wrote Happy Child, Happy Home, really to make sure children have a childhood and bring in imagination and bring in beauty, wonder and goodness, because it will all go. They'll be very cynical as teenagers. In fact, it goes around 9. Let them be a teenager. Teenagers have 3 impulses. They want to withdraw, not to push you away, but to work out who they are. Yeah, so they go behind their bedroom doors more. They begin to criticize, not because they're really, really being mean, though sometimes it feels like it, and you might have to tell them that crossed the line, but they're trying to work out who they are that's not who you are. You know, you're my parent, but who am I? And they're trying to work this out, because they're growing towards autonomy. And then they also can't do what you tell them directly to do because it's not an independent thought. So they're trying to gain their independence and it all gets a little pear-shaped. And I write about teenagers in a magazine called Juno. I'm the teenage editor of that magazine. So let them be their stage of development. And I write books on all these stages to help understand. And let them be themselves. I often say, do you have the child you imagined? Put your hand up if you have the child you imagined you were going to get. Nobody puts their hand up when I give talks and workshops. You may be very introverted and they may be very extroverted and what we call choleric. You may be very extroverted and they may be clinging to your leg, yes, and you have to hold hands and give magic handshakes for support and magic signals when you go out socially, and we need to help them. So don't expect your children to be exactly how you are seeing the world, and watch them. Just watch them unfold to really become who they are. That's the greatest gift you can give them. So there's that little saying. Love them, limit them, let them be. Simple, small, but actually very, very profound. I hope you enjoyed the post. If you did, please give me a click like, write me a comment, sign up so you can hear my other tips, and I'll catch you later. Thanks, bye.